Hello, everyone. Lorenzo here from the New Now with Cambell from Didactic. We are delighted to be here today to introduce a new series, a collaboration we are going to do together called Oddyssey of Truth. We're spelling it with two Ds because for both of us, and probably for most of you, it's been a very odd journey getting here. The direction we wish to take with this, we're figuring is the new now is where you want to be. And teaching yourself being autodidactic is how you get there. So Cambell and I have been working together and sharing for a long time now, and we felt it's time to take things to the next level and to share as we feel how we can bring our viewers into their new now through their autodidactic practices by pointing back at themselves and seeing through our journeys, prospectively speaking, historically, accurate as far as we've seen the alternative ways of looking at life, and allowing you to gain the power you need to become as strong as you need to be to navigate the world and create it in any way you wish through your imagination. I hope that works well for you. Cambell, hello. Nice to see you again this morning.
Exactly. Thank you, Lorenzo. Hello, and yes, welcome everybody else who's out there in internet land. We're going to broach this subject and try and get something together that's a bit more structured. Tell a bit more of a story, but more than that, give a bit more of a pathway of, what people can do to go towards the new world. Because as we know, the old world wasn't really built in our favor, and it's collapsing at the moment anyway. So, trying to be a part of something that's in free fall and destroying itself is probably not a good idea. So this is all going to be about looking forward and creating, the new world that we all deserve. Definitely at this point.
Yeah, as a means, as a structure, we've decided, to begin with, to do 8 videos. They're probably going to come out every couple of weeks. We'll put one on the New Now channel and one on Autodidactic. Of course, both will be cross-linked so that you'll be able to follow them, no matter where you are. And, as Cambell said, we're looking to do something more structured. We're going to look historically, monetarily, educationally, I guess you could call media entertainmentally, or how schooling and TV and all the other media have gotten inside, and to look at them from a new way instead of pointing fingers or complaining or deciding it's horrible, as much as a lot of it is, as we all know. We both feel we don't have to reinvent the wheel, and we don't have to be the 2000th person on YouTube, pointing at the horribleness of the world and saying, boy, doesn't that stink? We should stop that. We're going to be looking at working with people that already know what stinks, already know what's good, and maybe are just sitting on the sidelines going, okay, what do I do next? How do I grow from this nonsense? How do we use this fertilizer to root, blossom, and fruits, let's say, and become beautiful people, and how we've figured out through our own experiences to use, in my opinion, our imagination to make ourselves, as fantastic as we feel we can be. So Cambell, perhaps, read a bit of the introduction about, what we're looking at for this series. We'll let people in on what we're going to do. And obviously, we're always welcome to feedback as well from people after they've watched this.
All right. So the Oddyssey of Truth, of course, yes, double D, because it is a bit odd crossing the sea. We'll get into the sea a bit later. But I mean, the reason that we're making this and the reason that we're all in this situation is the world is a little bit weird. Have you ever wondered why you have to pay to live, why you have to pay taxes, why you have to pay for land? Because, I mean, who are we buying the land off? Who even owns the land, and where did they buy it from? Did they give God a check? What is all this stuff that we just take on board as reality, and we don't even question it? We just go through the motions. Oh, I've got to get a mortgage, which is a death pledge, as we know, but we still do it, and everyone's doing it. So we want to get into the fundamentals of how we can change these things that we're just, repeatedly doing without thinking, because, that's where the magic is, right? In change. And it's just the little things. This doesn't have to be, a massive, you don't have to go out there and change your whole life and everything about you to get different results. And so we're going to be discussing, how we got here. Why are so many resources put into directing what we think instead of teaching us how to think? And little things like this. But when we look at the world that we're born into, it's clear that we're not given a lot of choice. but we're given the illusion of a lot of choice. And so that's what, something we're going to cut through is really starting to recognize things, but starting to put the bits into action, because we hear so much talk, and also we get so much information. Oh, do this, just feel it, just love, just blah. And everyone's like, that's great, but what does that mean? Like, what does it mean? There's all these concepts, but they do need to be actionable, or else they're really just, and this is different, of course. That's different to imagination and lofty ideas. That's a different thing. But for actual physical change, because we're all down here in a 3D world, like it or not, we are in the 3D world. We're spirit, yeah, but we're in the 3D world, so we do need to interact with it. So yeah, another focus is definitely going to be, how do we just change? What are the changes we need to make, the little ones, to really just start stepping away from the system, from the program, stop being a cog and get out there and start, creating the new system, for ourselves.
Through our 8-step series, let's say, we'll take you from the macro to the micro, from switching your spending to switching your dreaming to switching your imagination to switching, how you see yourself, to even understanding what's possible and what's not possible. And of course, the whys, something I used to make my parents crazy with, that to this day, that I still don't like answering, is like, why do I have to go to school? Why are you paying a mortgage? Why do you only get the weekends off? Why do I have to sit in a nice summer day, in a classroom sweating with a teacher that seemed at the time, and I see now, was a lot less intelligent than I felt I was in relation to how I should be alive, right? Someone telling me what to do. So, the whys, we're going to look back at the whys, what is, I would say, has caged us by our own submission and admission. And by taking full responsibility through all of these, perhaps we'll be able to point back to what you can do to pick yourself up and make yourself free. And, we'll look at things from Cambell's, let's say, perspective, in that what he's an expert in looking at alternative history. We can look at something, energetically, in that what's possible as far as, I don't want to sound new agey, but what's as far as possible is when you change your inside, the outside can change as well. So literally what we're looking to do is we're going to synergize or synthesize. And I guess this is a huge thing we're taking on, everything that's ever been passed along to you, as far as conspiracy theory and alternative history, monetary shackles of the day, the educational limitations that are passed on to us, the media, etc. And we're going to tackle, because we feel that we can, two normal men who perhaps don't have any other background experience other than we decided to do it, everything from the day, bring it forward, pass it along, and share it in easy steps that you can make changes that can allow you to grow the kind of life that you would love to live in.
Definitely. And because life is, the game of life is the only game where the rules are to learn what the rules are, right? So we are learning that a bit at the moment, but we definitely want to, define a bit of a pathway, some rules that we can use to start, creating what we want. Because, we've been caught in this cycle of repetition, it's like Lorenzo said, why do we do this? Why do we do that? And we never get answers. It's just, the answers are, it's just because it's just the way it is, right? But I think we're over that way. So yeah, we're definitely going to get into broaching, how do we move forward? And definitely, guys, leave us comments if there's things that are challenges in your life, that, things that keep coming up that you don't seem to be able to get over. Please let us know. Leave it in the comments, because we definitely want this to be practical. We don't, there's enough, gurus out there, sitting on cushions and things, telling you all this stuff that sounds wonderful. But, the thing is, I've been hearing this stuff for 30 years plus, and the world's only got worse in that time. Look where we are now. And it's the same with education. They tell us it's so good, but people are getting more stupid. Health, they tell us they're looking after our health, but people are getting sicker. And this is what's going on, is the system is stacked against us, and we kind of know it, but we're not taking the steps we need to change it. And a big part of it is, even though we know it's not good for us, we still are using it as a safety net. we have this subconscious idea that there is something there that they're offering us that is safe, that if we follow the rules, it will be safe, that they'll look after us in the end. But guys, when you look around, it's not true. Look at people who have worked their whole lives. Where do they end up? Most of them end up sick, broken in a nursing home. And that's just the truth. So this is what we need to change. We need to change what we're putting in. And by doing that, we're going to change what we get out, the outcomes, which is the main thing that we want to broach.
Because there's only two of us doing this along the way, we're going to have many guest stars, shall we say, or guest chatters, sharers, movers, and thinkers. Several have already decided to come along, and others are going to come along as we go. And we're looking at this first series, as mentioned, is only 8, but who knows how far this is going to go. We're really looking at practical experiences for changing your life in ways that can help any one of us that decide to put the work in, which I really think is the key. Is you have to get off your ass, you have to make the changes, you have to decide for yourself, and then you have to put it into play or put it into action. And we're also here to share, you're not alone. There's so many people that are doing this. There's so many people that can do this. We are happy to help as you're happy to help yourself. And I think we've said it all. We're going to get it rolling. We're going to put some links below here, to see. We're open to questions and suggestions. We'll get this out live very, very soon, and we'll have the first run ready. We're looking to have it ready to roll by the 1st of November, more or less, in and around there. So keep an eye on both of our channels, and we'll keep mentioning it. And join our Telegram account. I'll have the link below for that as well. There's nothing there yet, but there will be very soon. We're going to attempt at TikTok, and we're going to attempt at Instagram newsreel and other ways to get out to people. So if there's anybody else that has any suggestions on how to make those explode for us, that would be great. But really, we're just going to put ourselves out in as many ways as possible. We're intending a huge movement of loving assistance that will help us as it helps you, as it helps everyone, by first learning to help yourself.
Yes, and we're also, we don't want to tell you what to do or not do. We're going to be doing what we speak. So, this is what, like Lorenzo said, we don't exactly know what we're doing, but we're doing it anyway, because we know we've got something to share. We know there's stuff that we can help people with, that people will get value from. And so we're just doing it. And this is the biggest thing. And obviously we're going to keep coming back to this through the series. Well, series 1 is action. You need to do stuff. It's no longer enough to sit there and wait for a savior, to wait for someone else to make the system, to wait for someone else to do it, to save you, right? The only person that's going to save you is you, right? It's the person in the mirror. So we're not, it's not going to be an airy fairy, fluffy wuffy. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting, but we're definitely going to cover, reality, what's really going on. And then we're going to give you, our perspective of real things that we've done that work to change that, to start heading in a better direction. So yeah, that we want to make it a bit different than the normal stuff that is out there, because there's too much airy fairy. Just give me, 10 grand, come to my conference, buy my book, all this kind of stuff. And then, 10 years down the road, you're in the same spot, but with less money in the bank. So, and that's another thing that we will be broaching is wealth and health, but wealth in all facets. So yes, if this is up your alley, definitely keep an eye out for the series. It will be coming out soon. Share it around, let people know what we're doing. And as Lorenzo said, if you are, a wonder on the internet and you can help us with promotion and anything like that, leave us a comment below.
I mean, it's a new journey. That's why we call it Oddyssey of Truth. We're not exactly sure where we're going to end up, other than, we all end up in the same place out of this body eventually.
It could be odd.
It could be odd. So we've decided,
and I'm not dancing on TikTok either.
No, I might though. We'll see. I have to help my wife laugh somehow. Maybe I'll start dancing on TikTok. But, we don't know exactly where this is going to end up. Maybe we'll dance, and maybe we'll sing, maybe someone else will. But it's a journey. It's an odyssey. We've decided to take it. We're not sure where we're going, Cambell and I, but we know where we're going away from. So, we're pointing in the direction of freedom. We're pointing in the direction of truth. That's why it's called the Oddyssey of Truth. and we'll see where we end up. We both have a good feeling though that it's going to be somewhere fantastic, better than where we are. So, join us, come along, help us navigate, help us see, help us decide. It's very free flowing, it's very open, and we're leaving it open ended on purpose so that participation could come from anywhere and everywhere. As long as your heart's in the right place and your desire is freedom and truth, you're welcome to come along and help us as we wish to help you too.
Yes, you are part of the tribe for sure. So thank you. That's our introduction done. We will be back, guys. The following videos will be a bit more edited.
Yeah.
And like Lorenzo said, we're going to have chats and everything, but we'll let you know all that. We'll have are we getting it? Yeah, we'll have an email as well below to join up. We'll get that. So make sure you join up that, and that way we'll send you all the episodes as they come out so you don't miss anything. But also, whatever channel this is on, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you do catch all our uploads as they come. And thank you for joining us. Have an amazing day. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you, Campbell. More soon. We love you all very much. Thanks for being here. We'll see you again right away.
Right away. Let's go forward in Oddity.